Hi, I'm Ezelle from The Upcoming. Lovely to meet you both. Congratulations on a second series. So, how does it feel to be back for a second season, and what can viewers expect this time around?
It's wicked to be back, and we're really, we were overwhelmed with the response for season one. Thrilled to get a season two, and I've sort of worked on season two to ensure that it is packed with sort of more twists and turns, mayhem, carnage, and some emotion too.
And Sope, in the first series, you the very centralised character as an undercover cop, and this changes for you when you're forced to kind of work with the investors in this season. What changes does that make to your story arc? What can we expect from you in this season?
Yeah, I think in the first season, Elliot's a bit more of a cowboy, he's quite cavalier, he goes in head first like a bull in a china shop, and he tries to effect change. And I think in the last year, in between season one and season two, that autonomy has been taken away from him a bit. He's no longer acting on his own volition, he's now really is a puppet for the investors. And that really does change the tone of the character in this series. I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see the audience's response to Elliot this time around.
And how do you yourself prepare for that kind of role? How do you get into character?
I'm not sure, I haven't yet finalised my process as an actor. I think it will change over the course of my career. But I think it's about, first and foremost, you've got to go to the text. You've got to look at the script and get as much information from there as possible. So, great thanks to Tom Butterworth, our lead writer this year, for creating more stories and deep characters for all of the actors in the show.
I'll tell you what he does. He goes and sits in a chair, he puts his headphones in, closes his eyes, listens to some magic music that we don't know what it is.
Nothing's playing. I've actually fallen asleep. I'm just waiting for him to call me on.
And then we go, "You're on set," and then he opens his eyes and he's
like the Terminator.
Badass.
Yeah, I'm awake. Let's go.
Exactly.
And for you, Corin, you stepped up as lead director in the series, and Evan's taken a little backseat with that, and directors Marcella and Nima have come on board.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what that collaboration has been like for you in this series?
Yeah, I mean, much like season one, which was a sort of very collaborative process, and it was the first time myself, Gareth, had made television shows, and Xavier too. And that was, kind of us, the directors would get together and hustle and make sure that there was a continuity, and sometimes sharing work or shots. And Gareth would call me up and say, "Can you get a close-up shot of Ed putting down a teacup in that set, because I forgot to get it," so I'd shoot that. And so we'd pass things around, and same goes for season two with Marcella and Nima. I'd created a kind of what I call a Gangs of London Bible, world Bible, which was everything I'd kind of got from making season one, all the sort of the rules of London, our London in Gangs of London, and the sort of visual aesthetic and kind of ideas on set pieces. And then we would sort of get together, discuss them, so that when they went off to make their episodes, Marcella did 3 and 4, and Nima did 5 and 6. I did 1, 2, 7 and 8, and there would be a sense of continuity throughout them.
And obviously you bring in, some new characters. We see Cobra in the series. Obviously, how does that affect you, your character, and how do you kind of go around introducing them, and why did you want to sort of expand out that?
I mean, I was kind of, when we watched season one, I was amazed that we'd got away with, I guess everyone in some extent in Gangs of London, everyone's a criminal, right? So although there's sort of heroes and villains within the criminals, they all get their hands dirty. But the investors who you meet at the end of season one, you sort of barely glimpse them. And so I felt we needed to put someone on screen that could be almost the enemy of everyone. And now things are going to take lots of twists and turns in season two. But we brought in this character called Cobra, who's a sort of Georgian paramilitary leader who's brought in by Asif to gain control of the gangs, become very volatile year on. And we didn't want just an evil villain, we wanted someone with a sort of disarming charisma. And Tom Butterworth wrote Cobra, and Walid Zuatar came in and just did an incredible job bringing a completely new sort of colour into the gangs world, and everyone within the gangs has had to sort of also react to his being there, as well as we had the Algerian gang with Jazz Armando, Ayman and Fadi, who are this Algerians coming in and getting sort of sucked into the underworld.
As a character, I like in the end, like when the tower falls at the end of series 1, that creates like a shockwave that sends a lot of our characters on different journeys and directions for the year that spans between the end of 1 and the beginning of 2. And I think that Cobra is almost the magnet, once he's placed in London, that brings all of our disparate characters back together again. He is the focal point for the carnage that comes in 2.
I agree. But for you, what's your favourite kind of scene that you filmed in this series? I mean, I particularly like the party scene, you know, when they're going through the house in series 1. It was amazing. So what for you is sort of stand out for you?
I mean, I take great joy in a lot of the action sequences that we've shot and over both of the series so far. But I think Gangs has a lot to offer, not just the action and the violence and the gore, but also the relationships and the heart and the connections. And not to say that it's my favourite of all, but one scene that I'm really quite proud of and that I'm really looking forward to sharing with people is the scene that Elliot and Alex have at the end of episode 1. Yeah, I think we also toiled for that scene. We worked really hard to make it the best that we possibly could, and I think I'm really proud of how it's turned out.
It was a really important thing to get right for so many reasons, and really difficult. You know, the first time Alex Damani is going to see Elliot, and Elliot's going to meet him since parting ways at the end of season 1. So, yeah, they smashed it.
Yeah, it was amazing. So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
And thank you for speaking to me.
Sweet, have a lovely night.
Thank you.
Cheers.